Good evening, students. Guest will be joining shortly with us.
Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible to you. Dr. Bamba, if I am audible, you can raise
Yes,
your
sir.
hand.
You are very much audible, sir.
Perfect. That's great.
So,
How are you, everyone?
students,
Just a hi to you. And I hope you and everyone in your family are, safe, doing well, and have, nicely passed out the tough time that we have had in last couple of years.
should we start the session, sir?
Absolutely.
Right. Thank you. So, good evening, Preet sir, Group Head Human Resources, Policy Bazaar and PaisaBazaar.com. Our Senior Director, Ginny ma'am, Manish sir, Kulvinder ma'am, Kulvinder sir, and our other faculty members and my dear students. It's a real privilege for me to welcome Mr. Puneet Khurana, who is one of the top 50 most influential HR persons of India. He is working as Group Head Human Resources in PolicyBazaar.com and PaisaBazaar.com. As you all are aware that PolicyBazaar.com is India's prominent online life insurance and general insurance aggregator, having more than 13,000 employees. And PolicyBazaar.com has been recognized as a great place to work for year 2020-21, all due to the efforts put in by Mr. Puneet Khurana. On the same, PaisaBazaar.com is also India's largest digital consumer credit marketplace and having more than 700 employees. So, telling a brief about Mr. Puneet Khurana, he has done MBA from Allahabad University, which is fourth oldest university of modern India. He started his career as Senior Team Manager, Vertex Customer Limited in 2002. Then from there on, he was working with the big corporates like Dell, IBM Global, Convergys, Striker Global, and now with the PolicyBazaar.com and PaisaBazaar.com. He is awarded as the top 50 most influential human resource leaders of India by National HRD Congress, as well as top 40 HR Tech Mind by CHRO Asia. He is a highly accomplished leader with broad experience in HR strategy, change management, crisis management, talent acquisition, as well as employee engagement and whatnot. I have seen one of the best example of this one, of the crisis management, when for a strike or employee problem in PolicyBazaar.com, he has to rush to Calcutta to sort out the issue. So that's why we have to postpone this program also. He is having consistent record of conceptualizing and implementing strategies for the business effectiveness. Puneet ji is very much passionate for employee experience and driving the business outcomes by HR interventions with a pragmatic and sustainable approach. And from this point only, his today's topic comes out, that is, if a business is business, if a business of business is business, the business of HR must be business. So the students, not taking much time between you and HR stalwart, Mr. Puneet Khurana, I hand over the session to Mr. Puneet Khurana, and on the same, I request all the students to fill up the feedback form for this session provided in the end of the guest lecture. So with this, it's over to you, Puneet sir. Now it's all your ball game.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Bamba. It's a pleasure to be connected to LPU, and my association with LPU is gone back to about 2009 when Dr. Naveen Juneja was there. Yeah, right. So I visited.
Old association.
Yes. So I visited LPU multiple times that time for campus interview. I was with Convergys at that time. I was working as a manager HR. So Dr. Juneja and me have been in touch since then, and the association with LPU been really fruitful from last about more than 12-13 years now. Great. Hello, everyone. I'll quickly come back. I'll introduce myself again, and few points that I've made while Dr. Bamba was kind of explaining what I've done. Hardly I've done anything in my career, to be very honest. It's all my team who have made me successful today. I tell you, I work for Policy Bazaar. I'll start with my current organization. Policy Bazaar is India's largest insurance web aggregators as well as insurance brokers as well now. Yeah. So in both the things, we have got broker license last year in July, and in just 1 year, we are again India's largest broker firm as well now. Okay. So from almost one office in Gurgaon to almost like 69 offices currently in India. So in 1 year, we have opened about 69 offices. That's broker license. For great place to work, yes, we are a great place to work. This year as well, 2021, and we were a great place to work in 2019 as well. 2020 was a hard year for everyone, so there was hardly any participation. We are going ahead for the same for this year as well, and we have been for the first round of audit has been done. We have kind of qualified for the second round as well, which should be done in 15 to 28 days. So that's what Policy Bazaar is for you. Policy Bazaar has about 8,500 employees on its roll. We hardly have off-roll employees. So 8,500 does not cover the broker people. And then comes Paisa Bazaar, which is India's largest lending marketplace. Paisa Bazaar has about 3,500 employees currently. That again spread over all across India. And then that's my organization for you. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, I come back, with a hotel management degree from USA, with an MBA from Allahabad University. I started my career in Hero Group long time back, and then with times I was fortunate enough to get good leaders, and then I learned a lot from them. Slowly and steadily, gradually, we together as a team kept going up the ladder, and today I am in front of you leading India's largest insurance platform. That's about me. Coming back to topic, it's a very interesting topic, and then more than interesting, it's a tongue twister. If the business of business is business, then the business of HR has to be business. I hope I have said it right. I tell you what, my experience of more than 20 years in HR, and I'll go back to my first move when I moved into HR from operations. The first thing that I learned, and my first boss used to tell me, if you do not know the business, you cannot become an effective human resource professional. And we used to ask him, boss, why do you think we should know business? Why do you think we should know what sales is doing, what BD is doing, what anyone else is doing? And he said, if you do not know it, that means you do not know your employees, because they are the one who are running the business. And if you do not know your employees, you do not know your resources, so you are no good as human resource official. That's how it started. And since that day, we have made it a thumb rule. Rather, I have made it a thumb rule in my life, and I make sure that it's for my team as well, that in human resource, anybody working at any level has to know the business throughout. So I'll tell you how HR is divided here in Policy Bazaar and Paisa Bazaar. So we have a common talent acquisition team, common recruitment team for both the verticals. And after that, we have business HRs. We call them HR BPs, HR business partners. I deliberately have named this because they have to be a business partner. We cannot say that I don't know my business, but I'm managing HR for that. If I don't know what life insurance is doing, how can I form a policy, or how can I amend a policy, or how can I go ahead and suggest an improvement thing for that particular business? If I don't know within life insurance what term insurance is doing, or what your investment is doing, what health insurance is doing, what motor insurance is doing, how can I make sure that I'm actually being fair to each and every employee? So currently, all my HR business partners, they know their business at the back of their hand. They know what business, what revenue their business made last year, last week, last year, last month, last week, or even yesterday. They know that. Okay, it's like getting to know that if I'm not involved into business, I would not be able to give my deliverables. And throughout in your journey, you will feel that HR is always called as a back-end operations, that HR is a back-end operation, HR is a back-end operation. I always say HR is a backbone of organization, not a back-end operation. So as a backbone, if in case you guys have some interest in biology, you would know backbone is the most important bone, or rather, one of the most important bones that we have, that actually carries the entire weight of your body. That's how HR has to be, the backbone of an organization. And backbone would only be strong if the feeding, the blood feed from each and every body will be equal. And that's what I require from my HR professionals, knowing their business pretty well. What are they doing? What is their business doing? What is the ask of business? How can there be a marriage between a business ask and the organization's requirement? Yeah, that marriage has to be a successful one, no matter what. Okay, so this is where we really need to strike a balance. Yeah, and that balance is not easy, I'm telling you guys. Before I go further, I'll tell you there is no presentation. It'll be a chit-chat session. I'll have some thoughts that I'll throw in front of you, and then typically we'll be on a question and answer session for as long as possible so that you get all your questions answered. And I deliberately did that because I did not want this to be a one-way communication. I wanted this to be a two-way communication because I want to learn from you. You guys are into market and you guys know system far better than we know. So coming back to why an HR professional should know the business, or rather again, coming back to business, if the business of business is business, then the business of HR has to be business. Business is doing their work. Sales is doing their work, tech is doing their work, product is doing their work, program management is doing their work. How HR can really help in getting everyone equipped with the respective arms and ammunition to make sure that they go and deliver the best of their productivity. How do we do that? We have to make sure that all our policies or procedures or SOPs are so conducive to the environment where our organization is expanding. I'll give you another example. Policy Bazaar is a sales organization. We are totally dependent on sales. If I go and form a policy which is totally against how an agent can go and sell a policy, sell an insurance policy, we'll be in trouble. Yeah. And at the same time, if I do a policy where I give all the free hand to the organizer, to the employee, and say that, go whatever you want to do, just make a sale. However, I don't take care of, the legal compliance, the labor compliance, or the HR compliance, or the organization's vision and mission. Then how do I make sure that we are getting success in all the manners? One way, it won't work. Yeah, it has to be, as I said, it has to be a marriage between two, or maybe it could be a marriage of multiple parties as well. So HR is a bridge between all these departments doing their work, and HR has to know the in and out of all these departments to make sure that they give that particular, they bridge that gap between two departments, two thought processes, and make sure that they become on the same platform, on the same thought process, and from there on, they march towards the same vision and mission of the organization. That is what is required from HR, and it's not easy, guys, I'm telling you. Every organization, or rather every department will have their own goals and own, you can say, deliverables, their own targets. Sales ko din ka X amount karna hai. BD ko business development karna hai, they have to add more clients. Okay. Tech ko, they have to make sure that tech and the product is up and running, the website is running, the app is running. How would it run in terms of what sales want, what BD wants? So sales would want that app and the website should talk the way sales agent talks, which cannot happen if both of department thought process is not on the same page. That is where HR comes, gets people into one room, make sure that they are thinking alike, though the background process that they have is separate, but they are thinking alike. And once they think alike, they actually give you an outcome which is similar. That is what required. From here, I would open the stage for any one of you to ask first question, and I'll answer it.
Hello, sir. Very good evening. I'm Saloni.
Good evening,
Nowadays,
Saloni.
it is a So nowadays, it is a trend that companies hire people from any stream, any out specialization in HR, like for HR position. What are your thoughts on this? Like from my point of view, it is a disrespect for HR professionals because I have seen in recruitment like LinkedIn, Naukri, Indeed, etc. They are open for everyone. Like I just want to ask why it is with HR only. Like, don't you feel there are any requirements to be an HR? Because
Good question.
feel, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Complete your thought. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because I feel being an HR is not an easy job.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Now you can answer.
Okay. Sure. Absolutely, Saloni. Rightly said. Being an HR professional, it's not an easy job. It's probably, I would say, one of the most toughest jobs because sales have to do their sales. We have to make sure that sales happen, but within the policies and procedures of the company. BD has to do their BD. We have to make sure that happens within the framework of the organization. So we are an enabler, enabler to each and every organization, each and every department. Now, coming back to your question that why organizations are ready to take HR professionals from any stream than in HR. Am I right? Is that your question?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
I tell you, I've spent about more than 20 years in HR now. The more diversity that you have within the organization, the more open thought process you will have. The more ideas will be flown in. The more best practices will be shared, and as a department, this is how you're gonna flourish. However, I have seen and I have experienced that people in HR, they are always preferred. People who have done their maybe a diploma or a PG diploma or a degree in HR, they're always preferred in human resources. But people from other departments are taken with some years of experience with them. Yeah, because again, as I said, new ideas, new blood has to flow, and that is what is the ideal requirement of any organization. Because if I take people, the background that I have, I take people from the same background. Trust me, 90% of their thought process will exactly be the same, which I don't want, because I am sure I am wrong at many places. So would another person be. So would maybe my boss would be. So we would want experience from all the departments, all the arenas to come at one place. We amalgamate that. We create a dish which is super delicious and obviously presentable as well. That is why we mix people in HR fraternity.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I have one more question to ask.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So please kindly point out 5 must-have quality for an aspiring HR professional. Like, as I am going to do a specialization in human resource management, so it will be very helpful for all. Thank you, sir.
Sure. I would not say that you should, stereotype yourself for 5 specialties. There could be n number of it. But the first and the foremost that I would say, according to me, would be attitude. Your attitude towards anything, be it HR, be it non-HR, be it sales, be it business development, be it technology, be it anything. The attitude towards learning. Keep that on. Second would be the listening skills. Be a listening person. I would want my organization, Policy Bazaar, to be a listening organization. I want to listen to my employees. I want to listen to what they feel, what bothers them in their daily routine. And then make sure, coming to the third point, we listen, we act fast. We do not wait. So the moment we listen, there is a problem statement or there are problem statements in front of us. We need to have quickly kind of divided into low-hanging fruits and maybe a long-term project and start answering it. So communicating. We have listened. we are working on it, and then communicating it back. And this goes for any department, any personnel. Communicating it back that there is work in progress. It might be resolved, it might not be, but we are working on it. So communicating. And last but not the least, I would say, keep your learning cap always on. You learn from everyone. Even if you are interviewing a person, trust you me, you learn from them. I was in one of the forums last week, and I got to know that probably coffee is third largest consumed drink after water and beer, and that was I would say a news for me, because I always thought after water it's going to be either coffee or tea, but I was wrong. This is how I'm giving you a very small example. This could be anything else. Okay, so learn from whomsoever you can learn. Keep your learning cap on, and always make sure keep that learnings with you. Do not falter around. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Saloni.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, I just have a question. Sometimes when we, walk into an interview, for example, okay, and we are done with the question and answers, everything is so done. Sometimes it happens like very, where it's not rare cases, or in some common cases, it happens that interviewer asks you, do you have any question for me or for the company, something like that. So in which circumstances I should ask the questions, and what kind of questions they should be like, we have so many questions, of course, in the bottom of the heart. We really want, and the first step, sir, how much will I get? Will I get the amount that I'm expecting it to be? So, but we should not be asking those kind of questions. But they should be. We should not let that person to feel like, okay, I don't have anything. I'm just so out of the box now. I can't. I'm just done with the interview. That's all I want. Let me go. So I don't want that thing. So could you please tell me what kind of thing should I ask, and in which cases I should ask?
Sorry, I didn't get your name first.
Sir, it's Muhammad Nadeem. It might be relevant.
Nadeem. Can I call you Nadeem?
Yeah, for sure. Take it.
Perfect. Excellent question, Nadeem, and I'm still finding the answer for this question since my college days. I tell you, it's not always necessary to ask this question as to if an interview will ask. I do ask, if you have any question that I choose to answer. I always say that, but it's not necessary that you have to ask a question. Yeah, do your homework for every interview. You have to know the organization. What organization are you going for? What do they do? How do they earn the bread? What are their business expansion plans? All the things that you can actually grasp on the internet, or maybe you can ask your faculty, and obviously your faculty also ask these questions to all the organizations which are coming for campus interviews, or maybe any interview that you're going outside. So do your homework first. Once you have done it, and if you have any doubt, always write it down. What doubts that you have. Try to find the answer of those doubts yourself. I tell you, how would it help you in the interview? If you have all these small things answered to you even before the interview, you will be able to answer the interviewer far better, and the way that interview wants to listen that answer. Very important. Let's say I throw a question to you, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? Very, very common question. Yeah. Now, every interviewer, believe you me, has some expectation when they throw a question. They have some expectation of that answer. Your answer will be closest to their expectation if you know their organization well. Why I say that? Because I am interviewing you. Let's say I'm interviewing you, and I'm interviewing you just keeping in mind how would you fit the bill in Policy Bazaar. So I throw a question and I need an answer. You know how my organization works. What is the business of my organization? What is the modus operandi that we have? Because you have researched a lot. Now the answer that you will give will be closest to the business that I do. And this is what I want to listen. And once I listen to that, it will be music to my ears. And I'll be like, wow, this guy knows something. This guy knows something. This guy is a fit. This guy is a fit. And then I ask you any question that you have that I may answer. Again, coming back to a basic question, do not ask for just heck of asking it. Let's say you are not able to find their growth plans for the next 3 years or 5 years on the internet. You can ask this question. But if you're not finding it, if you have it, you can rephrase it. That over the internet, I got to know these are your growth plans for the next 3 to 5 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe enlighten me if this is what it is. That's how you can actually rephrase it. How would that help you? If the growth plans are what you're talking about are even somehow near to what the exact growth plans are, again, as I said, the interviewer will be impressed. He would know that you have done your homework and you have come prepared. So do not ask a question just for the heck of asking it. Agle 2 saal mein hum kya karenge? How much I would be getting in hand salary? Everything will be explained to you. But yes, at the same time, I would say if you have a question, then do ask. Do not keep it in your mind, because that would be later on, that could be a hindrance towards your performance in that organization. I hope I've made myself clear.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadeem. Any other questions, guys? We'll be Sorry, I'm not able to hear. Can we repeat it?
Yeah, any student who want to ask any question from sir, please ask your question, or you can write your question in chat box also.
Yeah.
Good evening, Puneet ji. I am Manish Sharma. I am additional director from Center for Distance and Online Education, Lovely Professional University.
Good evening.
So I again welcome you for this. I again welcome you for this great session.
Thank you.
So any student who wants to ask any of the question to sir, they can ask, please. I think, sir, you can continue further because
there is a question in the chat box which is what's the best reply and intention behind the ask, why you want to switch, and another most popular is what's your expected salary. Yeah, right. Expectations can go a long way. I'll come to the first question first. Why do you want to switch? There could be multiple reasons, and be honest, guys. Be really honest. I don't want you to really go and tell that I want to switch because I want a higher salary. Yeah. But even if that's your reason of change, then back it with a proper logic. I tell you, I had a candidate, and I'm telling you a real story. I had a candidate some time back, and he came for a very senior profile, a vice president kind of a profile, and I asked that you're doing pretty well in your current role. You've spent about 8-9 years in your current organization, doing decent. You have a name in the market. Why? What gets you into the market to look for it? And he had a very logical answer, and he told me that he's very less paid, and that's the biggest motivation that he has. That he has to move out to get a better pay package. And I was kind of taken aback. But he explained me in such a way. He said, see, I've spent about 15-17 years in this arena. In these 15-17 years, last 10 years, I've been into one organization and I'm an internally grown employee. With internally growth, I've got growth in my position, in my salary, in my incentive or whatsoever. However, the learning for me, as in the outside world learning, had been very limited. With that, I also know that if I go and explore in the market, the kind of experience that I've gained in the last 14-15 years will be valued at X amount, or maybe near to X amount. And I said, how can you say that? He said, that's what the CVs available in the market with my experience and my background say about their current CTC, and this is my current CTC. Yeah, it might happen that I'm not even near to them because they're far more better in performance, and I might not be. But prima facie, this is what I have, and I want to check my market. If you can give me something good, which suits you and suits me, I'll be more than happy to help. I'll be more than happy to join. So that's the kind of explanation that he gave. That he wanted salary, but at the same time he wanted a good role as well. And we shook hands. We really shook hands. The person would be joining us in about, I think we are in June, by the end of this month. Yeah, we shook hands. So it's not bad telling the truth, but the truth has to be really backed up with a logic. Expected salary, again, you should know what your market worth is. With X years of experience into this, I know, this is what is going in the market. And if I say, mujhe 5 lakh se seedha 15 lakh de do, I know what an answer that I'm getting. The HR will say, we'll get back to you. And they never do. Yeah. And then you accuse HR. So be realistic. You should know your market value. As I said, again, do a good research. And it's not bad switching jobs with a proper logic. With a proper logic. What else?
So it was a very good reply, and question was also very good. So any other student wants to ask any of the question to sir, please you may ask any of your query, any of your question. Please ask. You can type on in your chat box also.
Sachin seems to have received this reply from some HR that he'll be called back by HR.
Yes, yes. So any other question from any of the student, please you may ask, please, any of your query you may ask, please, any of your question.
Come on, guys. If I was less prepared, you should have been prepared for this.
So you can continue further session, sir.
Sure. I'll pick a question which would help you as to what does a recruiter looks into a candidate. Yeah. You will be a candidate in some time. You will be looking for jobs. You have a great future in front of you. What you should present. I've seen many people presenting a colorful CV.
Sir, I have a little question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, as you said earlier, like you should know your market value. Like my job was paying me minimum 15,000, but as I know my capabilities, that I have much more capabilities than that salary structure. So how can I ask the other company like I have worth more talent than this pay structure? So how can I ask for like a more hike on my previous salary?
I tell you. Hike is typically dependent on the organization's policies. So there are some organizations who would not give more than X percentage of hike no matter what. Yeah. So you should not look for hike. I told that in my previous answer as well. You should actually look for what is suiting you the best. Okay. Maybe an organization giving you a hike of 200%. And you go with the flow that हाँ मुझे तो यहाँ पे 15,000 मिलती है, वहाँ तो 40,000 मिलेगी, and I want to join that organization. Did you do a good ref check to the organization as well? How is the organization? How is the work culture? What are they?
That is the first priority for to join an organization. That what will be the working culture there?
If that will be your first priority, then trust you me, salary would be your maybe third or fourth. Because there would be second or third priority as well, which I will tell you now. So the first priority would be the organization. What is the organization? What do they do? And what is the work culture, right? The second priority that you should have is how would that affect your CV or your long-term goal? If I started my career in operations, In about 2.5 years, I moved into HR. That was a thoughtful move. Had I been in operations today, whatever I'm getting, I would have been getting easily 1.5 times of that, salary-wise. But I had certain long-term goals that I had to achieve. So my second priority is how that change, maybe in the job, maybe in the organization, maybe in the role, whatever, how that change will affect or will help me in my achieving my long-term goal. Third would be maybe remuneration, how that remuneration helps me, and what is the remuneration structure. Currently in my current organization, I have XY structure, which is very tax friendly. I go to the other organization, which has non-tax friendly salary structure. Though I'm given a hike, but trust me, my in-hand salary reduces because I end up paying more taxes. So how is it helping me? Is it helping me or not? And then comes, what hike should I ask for? I am at 15,000. Should I ask for 30,000 straight away, or maybe 25, or even maybe 1 lakh? And if I'm asking something, what is my logic behind it? As I said, logic behind it. And then the logic, make it so logical that the other person has to buy it. Because it'll be an endless conversation between HR person and a candidate, because candidate will also always think that I am the super candidate of this world. I should be given a 500% hike straight away. Vis-a-vis, HR is looking to the best fit for the organization. So you have to make yourself the best fit for the organization. That is where you can always negotiate better. I just saw another question which got disappeared, that when is the best time for a change? When is the best time to change the jobs? There is no best time, yeah. So I asked this question to one of my previous leaders. I was working with him, and he's still date my mentor. If I'm stuck in anything, I call him up at 2 o'clock in the night as well. I asked him, I was like, boss, when is a good time for someone to change? He gave me just 2 quickies. One, once your learning stops. And second, when you do not enjoy your work. It's as simple as that. So enjoy your work daily. And if you're not enjoying it, trust me, one of the reasons for you to look for a change. Second, if your learning stops. I told you earlier as well, your learning should never stop. If you think in your current role, in your current organization, in your current arena, you're doing same monotonous stuff day by day by day by day, and you're not learning anything, maybe time for you to put yourself up in the market. Cool? Colored CVs. Saloni, no, I didn't say anything about colored CV. I spoke about flashy CVs. Flashy CVs won't work. They will only work to get you to the first round of interview. That is it. Rest, it's your potential which actually takes you to the places. So rather than a flashy CV, I have not prepared my CV in last 7 years, to be very honest. But if you see my CV prior to that, I had a 1-pager CV. That is it. Only 1-pager CV, which tells me in a box, it tells about my education, my top 5-10 priorities, not priorities, 5-10 top projects that I've done in last 5-7 years, and then in a nutshell about my experience, the organizations, and where have I worked. That is it. That's where it's written. So CV do help, but to a certain extent. Sharpen your skills, sharpen your education, keep learning, and it'll take you places.
Sir, can I ask one more question?
Go ahead, Saloni. You are the question. Miss question of the evening. Go ahead.
Yeah. जैसे लोग कहते हैं HR में ग्रोथ नहीं होता, मतलब बहुत ग्रो नहीं कर सकते आप HR करियर एज ऑप्ट करके, तो आप बड़ी कंपनी में हो और बड़े पोजीशन में हो, तो आप क्या कहना चाहते हो इसके लिए?
आपने खुद ही आंसर कर दिया क्वेश्चन.
नहीं मतलब मैं जानना चाहती हूँ आपका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इसके लिए कि आप कैसे लेते हैं इसको?
मैं बड़ी कंपनी में हूँ, मैं बड़ी पोजीशन पे हूँ और एचआर में हूँ, तो दैट मींस आई हैव ग्रोन।
Yes,
क्या? So,
Yeah,
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है,
absolutely.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि ग्रोथ नहीं होती। ग्रोथ हर डिपार्टमेंट में होती है। हर एक डिपार्टमेंट का अपना एक अलग ग्रोथ कर्व होता है, जिसको हम ओडी कर्व बोलते हैं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेवलपमेंट कर्व बोलते हैं। जार्गन्स पे नहीं जाते, बहुत सिंपली समझाता हूँ आपको। हर एक डिपार्टमेंट का एक लर्निंग कर्व होता है और एक ग्रोथ कर्व होता है। द फास्टर यू लर्न, फास्टर यू ग्रो। या हाउएवर देयर आर फ्यू डिपार्टमेंट्स जिनमें ना थोड़ा सा ठहराव चाहिए होता है। वाई ठहराव? बिकॉज दे डील विद लॉट ऑफ मैच्योरिटी। सेल्स में मैं बहुत टिपिकल एग्जांपल सेल्स का लेता हूँ, क्योंकि वो बहुत एकदम एक्सट्रीम है मेरे लिए। सेल्स में आप अपने टारगेट अचीव करते चले जाते हो, आप ग्रो होते चले जाते हो, राइट? एक लिमिट आती है जब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ये डिसाइड करना होता है कि इससे फर्दर आपको ग्रो करके टीम लीडर बनाए या इंडिविजुअल कंट्रीब्यूटर ही रहने दें। और ऐसा इसलिए होता है कि हर टॉप परफॉर्मर एक अच्छा लीडर नहीं होता, राइट? एंड वी हैव सीन दैट इन पास्ट, वी हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड इट इन माय करियर, in HR, in all other fields, that we have promoted someone only on the basis of sole performance. Yeah, and the person becomes a team lead. Now he's a bad leader. That means he was not ready to become a leader. Vis-a-vis, उसके अंदर भी जो टीम होती है ना, वो उसको भी खराब करता है। So हर डिपार्टमेंट का एक, मैंने कहा, लर्निंग कर्व होता है और ग्रोथ कर्व होता है। लर्निंग कर्व में अलग अलग चीजें होती हैं। आप परफॉर्मेंस कैसे ग्रो करते चले जा रहे हो, आप अपनी लीडरशिप स्किल्स कैसे ग्रो करते चले जा रहे हो, आप अपने आप को अगले लेवल के लिए कैसे रेडी करते चले जा रहे हो। एचआर में वो थोड़ा सा और एक्सटेंसिवली होता है, क्योंकि वी डील विद ह्यूमंस डे इन एंड डे आउट। हम किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ट्रेंड सेटर होते हैं। जैसा एचआर में होता है वैसा पूरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉलो करने की कोशिश करता है, क्योंकि वी आर द आइडियल डिपार्टमेंट इन ईच एंड एवरी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। सो स्लो नहीं होता ग्रोथ, लेकिन बहुत समझदारी के साथ होता है एचआर में ग्रोथ। मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि एचआर में ग्रोथ कभी ऐसा रहा ही नहीं कि कुछ गलत हुआ हो, या सेल्स में हमेशा गलत हुआ हो, ऐसा नहीं है। बट इट्स टिपिकली ऑन टू द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ग्रोथ, your personal growth, not only performance. Performance is the key indicator for sure. The first indicator for your growth is performance. The second indicator is how mature you have grown in your organization, in your role. How are you ready for a lead role? Are you ready for a manager role? Are you ready for an executive role? Or are you ready for a head role? Yeah, I gave you a good example of 2009 when I used to visit LPU for campus interviews. I was a manager HR. I had about 7-8 लोगों की टीम अंडर मी. Currently, I am heading an organization of 12,500 employees. In what, about 13 years? Which, अगर सेल्स में होता तो शायद मैंने 10 साल में कर लिया होता, to be very honest. बट हाँ, वो 2-3 साल एक्स्ट्रा वो मेरे ठहराव के हैं, वो मेरी मैच्योरिटी के हैं, वो मेरे डिपार्टमेंट के हैं, वो मेरे डिपार्टमेंट की आस्क है जो मैं पूरी कर रहा हूँ। सो ग्रोथ कभी भी किसी डिपार्टमेंट की स्लो नहीं होती, ज़रूरी। इट्स सबका अपना लर्निंग कर्व होता है, सबका अपना ग्रोथ कर्व होता है, उन दोनों को मैच करके चलना पड़ता है।
Yes, sir, thank you. I agree with you, and I also think that HR बहुत diverse है, ऐसा growth sector इस पे कुछ नहीं होता कि grow नहीं कर सकते आप। Thank you, sir, thank you so much.
मैंने 20 साल लगा दिए हैं HR में, ट्रस्ट मी, मुझे लगता है शायद मुझे 25% से ऊपर HR नहीं आता। ट्रस्ट मी,
बहुत आता है सर।
It's changing every day. It's changing every day. I'm telling you guys, the technology which has come in HR now, the big data, the data analytics. I learn from my people यार, I learn from my team. जो मैंने अभी मैंने एक recent बंदा hire करा है, that guy knows so many reports in HR जो हम manually बनाते हैं, और वो मुझे एक click पे बना के दे रहा है. That's how. So it's evolving, and you have to evolve yourself. Just don't get complacent.
Yes sir, I was about to ask HR analytics, ये नया term है ना कुछ?
हाँ, term नया है, काम वही है जो HR शुरू से करता आया है। आज से पहले भी HR एनालिसिस करता था, बताता था कि हमें कैसे लोग हायर करने चाहिए, कैसे नहीं करने चाहिए, बट वो बहुत रॉ वे में बताता था. आज की डेट में HR टॉक्स अबाउट डेटा. So we did a data mining, and trust me, I'll tell you how did we do the data mining. हमने यहाँ पॉलिसी और पैसा में अट्रिशन रिपोर्ट देखी कि कैसे हमें लोग बहुत छोड़ के जा रहे हैं इन आवर कॉल सेंटर स्टाफ. सो वी सेड यार अट्रिशन कम करना है. We went back to the drawing board and said कि let's go ahead and see कि पिछले 1 साल में हमने लोग कहाँ से हायर किए हैं, कौन सी लोकेलिटी से आए हैं, वो कौन से बैकग्राउंड से आए हैं, कौन सी स्टेट से आए हैं, उनका फैमिली बैकग्राउंड क्या है, घर में कितने बंदे हैं, वो घर का पहला बड़ा बच्चा है या छोटा बच्चा है या बीच वाला है, कितनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है उसके ऊपर घर की, उसकी एजुकेशन क्वालिफिकेशंस, ऑब्वियसली एक्सपीरियंस वो हम अलग रखते हैं, वो तो हम सबका ही ट्रैक करते हैं. वी हैव एक्चुअली गॉन बैक एंड सेड कि उसका पर्सनल बैकग्राउंड क्या है, एंड वी केम टू अ कोरिलेशन कि पीपल कमिंग फ्रॉम स्मॉल टाउन दे स्टिक, दे वांट टू अर्न मोर. तो अगर उनको कहीं कोई और कंपनी 1000 रुपए का जम देती है तो वो चले जाते हैं. विजिबिस पीपल कमिंग फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल टाउन, बट उस स्मॉल टाउन में थोड़ा सा अर्बन एरिया, उनका थॉट प्रोसेस अलग होता है. विजिबिस सेमी अर्बन का अलग होता है. विजिबिस प्रॉपर अर्बन जो दिल्ली मेट्रो, गुड़गांव, बॉम्बे, कैलकाटा के लोग होते हैं, उनका थॉट प्रोसेस अलग होता है. एंड करंटली बिलीव यू मी, आज की डेट में मेरे पास जो हायरिंग आती है, आई ऑलवेज सी कि कौन से प्रोसेस के लिए हायरिंग है, उस प्रोसेस पे मेरा डेटा कोरिलेशन क्या बोलता है, और अब मुझे वो लोग कहाँ से हायर करने हैं. ये पहले इतना एक्सटेंसिव नहीं होता था, HR के पास डेटा होता था बट इतना एक्सटेंसिव नहीं होता था. सो डेटा एनालिटिक्स, बिग डेटा, दिस हैज कम बिग टाइम. व्हाई वी कॉल इट बिग डेटा? बिकॉज इट्स एक्चुअली डेटा चर्निंग बिग टाइम. हाउ वुड दैट हेल्प कि एक बच्चा जो हमारे यहाँ काम कर रहा है वो अपने घर का बड़ा बच्चा है, मझला बच्चा है या छोटा बच्चा है, हाउ वुड दैट हेल्प इन एनालाइजिंग कि वो हमारे पास कितना रुकेगा, कितनी जल्दी छोड़ के जाएगा? एनी आइडिया? I'll tell you. जो बड़ा बच्चा है, हमारा कोरिलेशन ही बोलता है, जो बड़ा बच्चा है और जो स्मॉल टाउन के अर्बन एरिया से आता है, दैट पर्सन कैरीज सम रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑन द शोल्डर. वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से काम करता है और वो रुकता है. जो छोटा बच्चा है वो एग्जैक्टली मेरे 50-50 के रेशो पे बैठा है, कभी वो रुकता है, कभी वो नहीं रुकता, राइट? और जो मझला बच्चा है, अब वो मझला बच्चा में अगर ही इज अ बॉय और ही इज अ गर्ल, देन कोरिलेशन चेंजेस. सो दिस इज वेयर द डेटा हैज गॉन, वी हैव गॉन इनटू डेटा. दिस इज कॉल्ड डेटा माइनिंग, दिस इज कॉल्ड एनालिटिक्स, डेटा एनालिटिक्स, दिस इज कॉल्ड बिग डेटा. सो आप किसी भी कॉर्पोरेट में जाओगे, यू विल गेट टू नो, बट टू स्टार्ट हाउ यू माइन द डेटा इज, किसी भी इंटरव्यू के लिए जब आप बैठो ना, तो उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बारे में जितना माइन कर सकते हो ना, माइन कर लो, सो दैट योर डेटा माइनिंग स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम डे 1.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच. और एक मतलब आप अगर हमें एक प्रो टिप देना चाहोगे फॉर इंटरव्यू, तो आप क्या दोगे अपने साइड से? मतलब
बी कॉन्फिडेंट, यू आर द बेस्ट, बी कॉन्फिडेंट. देयर इज अ वेरी थिन लाइन बिटवीन कॉन्फिडेंस एंड ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस. Don't be overconfident, just be confident.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Positive attitude, be confident, you will be all over. Trust you me.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Sure, Nadeem.
So, like, one more question I have. See, as a HR, okay, so personally, what do you think, like, in an organization, which is the most important role? Which is the most important one?
All the roles. Tell me one role which is least important or less important.
I mean, like, sitting you there where you are sitting, you are looking into a, you are looking from that place where, you're looking, for example, you're sitting on a terrace roof, and from downside, you can see everybody's working there, and you see each and everyone there. And okay,
Nadeem, I'll give you a good example.
Yeah, for sure.
आज मैं अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक गार्ड भी कम कर दूं ना, I'll be actually compromising on the security of my organization. That's the root level that I have. Now I take you to the top level. If my CEO goes today, who would look after my business strategies? Yeah? So all the roles are important. All the roles are important. There are times in your career when you have to really prioritize few roles in terms of maybe hiring them how quickly, the timing of hiring, maybe the pay parity. That depends on what is your organization's ask at that point in time and how your organization is planning to shape up in next 1, 3, 5 years. वो change होगा. आज मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट है, लेट्स से आई विल टेक यू 1 year बैक, लास्ट जुलाई में लेके चलता हूं मैं तुमको पॉलिसी बाजार. मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट थी टू ग्रो वेरी क्विकली द ब्रोकर लाइसेंस. हमें नया नया ब्रोकर लाइसेंस मिला था. वी डिड नॉट हैव एनी लेवरेज कि हम थोड़ा सा स्लो कर लें, मार्केट समझ लें. हमें पता था हमें कुछ टाइम में ब्रोकर लाइसेंस मिल जाएगा. हमने 6 महीने पहले से अपना काम शुरू कर दिया था, मार्केट एनालिटिक्स शुरू कर दी थी. The moment we got the license, the most important role at that point in time to me was my recruitment team, because those guys had to fill in the numbers in all the locations that we were opening. That does not mean कि उस टाइम रिक्रूटमेंट के अलावा बाकी एचआर के लोग काम नहीं कर रहे थे, या ऑप्स काम नहीं कर रहा था, या लीगल काम नहीं कर रहा था, या फाइनेंस काम नहीं कर रहा था. They were also doing their work. लीगल शॉप ने एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ले रहा था उन्हीं ऑफिसेस की जो हमें चाहिए थी. बाकी एचआर उनके कंप्लायंस बना रहा था, स्टेट वाइज पॉलिसीज बना रहा था, फाइनेंस उनके लिए फंड्स अरेंज कर रहा था. एवरीबडी वाज वर्किंग टू द कैलिबर एंड टू द वर्क व्हिच वाज एक्सपेक्टेड आउट ऑफ देम. बट हाँ, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट मे बी फॉर दैट फ्रैक्शन ऑफ मंथ्स वाज टीए, क्योंकि टीए को मैंने बिल्कुल ऐसे कर दिया था कि मुझे बंदे चाहिए. एंड दैट हैपेंस. There will be time जब I'll again give you an example. There will be time जब finance will be one of the most important functions. हर महीने के एंड पे फाइनेंस सबसे बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन होता है, क्योंकि उससे आपकी सैलरी पे करनी होती है. Yeah? So there is no position in an organization which is less important or most important. All are equally important depending upon the work they do and the portfolio that they manage. Interesting question from Sachin. How you handle employee level politics which often disturb the work environment? Okay, and I'll take the next question as well from Anurag. It is relatively same. Does favoritism affect the work culture? Guys, I tell you, you guys have learned these words. Maybe might have heard it somewhere, और ये होता है. Let me be honest, ये होता है. How you curtail this is typically onto performance. मेरे यहाँ पे पॉलिसी बाजार में आपने पढ़ा होगा परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट का बेल कर्व बनता है, है ना, जिसमें हम फोर्स बेल कर्विंग करते हैं. कुछ लोग यहाँ होने चाहिए, कुछ यहाँ होने चाहिए. How we make sure that favoritism and politics are cut to the as grassroots level as possible is my organization does not follow a bell curve. I am the biggest critics of bell curve. I say when we are in any organization, we want everyone to perform well, and if they have performed well, then let them take the highest rating. मेरे यहाँ की रेटिंग में outstanding और overachieved is about 80% of total staff. I've recently closed the appraisals. 80% of my staff has overachieved their targets or they are outstanding. Ideally, in a bell curving scenario, your 60%, rather 70% staff has to be meeting expectations. My 80% staff is exceeding expectations. Because we have done well as an organization last year, then why not reward anyone and everyone who has done good? And that's where you will actually be able to cut favoritism and office politics to bare minimal level. Hope I've answered your questions. Anything else, guys? Thanks, Anurag. You keep me motivated. Thanks, Sachin.
Any other question? I'm happy that students are asking very relevant and very interesting questions, sir.
Yes.
Because these questions are applicable, I think, for each and every organization, because in every organization, staff is finding such kind of problems, and sometimes these problems become very horrified. So, and sometimes certain organizations lose certain good people due to these problems also.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm happy that students are taking interest in your session, taking good interest in your session, and asking such kind of practical problems.
Yes, that I agree.
Any other? Yes, these are practical problems, sir.
Okay, does every organization have their chief human resource officers? Why not?
I mean, so
you are taking your question is taking away my job.
No. I don't mean to, like, it was not. I mean, it's like even the small scale businesses as well. I mean, like, just.
Hota sabka hai. Small scale organizations, they might not call it a CHRO. They might call it the head HR, manager HR, AVP HR, whatever is their top level position is at that point in time, or whatever position that they can afford according to the financials that they have. So hota sabka hai. There is someone who is leading the department. There is someone who is the HOD. अब वो किस लेवल पे हो क्या हो वो typically एक organization to organization depend करता है. But yes, even if there is no HOD to an organization, I would urge that every organization should have a strong human resource professionals, because that will actually take care a lot of compliance issue within the organization. Okay, I have how you work to keep work-life balance of your team down the line or upline. Sachin, upline I don't have to manage. They manage mine. However, good question. Oh, guys, we have a culture. Specifically in HR, I have a culture that I don't ask anyone when is he or she coming to office or when he or she is leaving. All I want them is to finish their work. That is it. And I give you a very typical example. I have a 10 to 7 shift. I come at around 10:30, between 10:30 to 11. I don't have a time to go. There are days when I go at 6. There are days I go at 9, 10, 11. I have to complete my work. It's as simple as that. If my team is coming, let's say coming at 10, leaving at 4, but they are completing their work, they are almost 30% more productive to me than if they are doing the same work in 10 to 7 shift. So I would say work-life balance is typically onto you. It's an individual's choice as well. Yes, there are organizations who have a lot of work, who work in skeleton staffing, kam rakhte hain staff ko, so you have a lot of work to do. These are small-time organizations, but how you manage your work depends upon you. How you sneak that time of chit-chatting with friends for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, having a cup of tea, going downstairs for a glass of juice. It's on to you. But with the time, Sachin, you would get to know how you manage it. Maybe initial first 6 months, keep your eyes and ears open wherever you work. Yeah, and always try to follow people who are onto their task and at the same time are managing good work-life balance. You will find these people always in all the organizations. So do not have a mentor जो सिर्फ वर्कहॉलिक हो या जो काम ही ना करता हो. You have to find a mix of both.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just one question around. So because of the COVID, the working style has changed. Now people work from home. People now started working from office as well. So what's your opinion on people working from home or office? Which one is better? What do you prefer in your company?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat it? Sorry, I just lost you in between.
I said with the change in because of the COVID, people started working from home, then from office. So what is your thought process on that? What do you prefer in your company, people working from home or from office?
It's very, very debatable question. Yeah. It totally depends on the work that you are doing. When COVID started, as an organization, we were ready in just 3 days that our work did not suffer. हमने colleague तक घर से start करवा दी थी. Our dialer was, shaped up in 3 days to make sure that 100% of my staff is ready to work from home. However, we still wanted our people to come to office because there are few tools that they have available in the office, which we cannot make available to their household because of some compliance, because of some IRDA regulations or anything. So it totally depends upon the nature of work that you have. Yeah, I'll again give you an example. A delivery boy cannot work from home. He has to get outside. He has to really go to his office, take the deliveries and deliver to whatever addresses that he has. Vis-a-vis, a techie can work from home. He has to do a coding. He has to do some programming. Yeah, but the time management is very important. Be it you working from office or home, time management is very important. So I would leave that question to open to the businesses as to what they want to opt. But one suggestion to all the employees: keep your time managed well.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Sachin has a question. Task done, time over, but most companies want their employee to stay in office late night. Like you have been seen a viral video, catch fair half day, one who is going on time after finishing his work. I haven't seen it, Sachin. But honestly, if the task is done, why would I keep you to office? What makes me happy or gives me an extra salary to keep you in office? Yeah. It again typically onto your task, onto the nature of work that you have. Maybe 10 to 7 I do sales, 7 to 7:30 or 7 to 8 I prepare my reports. मैंने सारा दिन क्या किया है, and I send it to my team lead. Or maybe I keep getting my report updated while I'm taking calls, and about 7:15 I'm off calls as well as off the reports as well. So it's how you manage your work. Though there are few roles for sure available in the market which might have some extended shifts, but that's again typically role specific, organization specific.
Absolutely true, sir. In my organization, if somebody works more than 9 hours, we need explanation from their manager why he's still in office.
There you go. Chandni has a question. Chandni says, sir, if I am a fresher and now doing online MBA, then why some people say that no online MBA only for experienced employer, not for you? Guys, don't go on what you hear. Yeah, your confidence will sell you everywhere. Your positive attitude will take you places. Education is a stepping stone that actually takes you closer to your goal. But closer to your goal. Getting your goal in your hands, it totally depends upon how you really take up whatever you have learned from that education, be it online, be it offline. We have done, मेरी पूरी लाइफ में कभी कोई पैंडेमिक नहीं था इससे पहले, मेरी सारी एजुकेशन ऑफलाइन है. I see people with online education are far smarter than we are. Real smart. So इसको छोड़ दो कि ऑनलाइन MBA क्या करेगा, ऑफलाइन MBA क्या करेगा. Learn as much as you can. Keep your eyes and ears open. Have confidence. Be positive towards life. Things will start falling in place.
I can add on this answer. Basically, for online education, nowadays, distance and online education is one of the important part of education system of India, because our total education cannot be completed through a formal regular education. So distance and online education is an integral part of our Indian education system. And during COVID and after COVID, you have seen that online education is nowadays in very much demand, because the thing is this online COVID has opened many of the doors for online education in many of the ways in India. That is why UGC came up with the regulations for online mode regulations in 2018, and even in the current 2020 joint regulations for distance and online education mode, UGC has made it very clear that online education is at par with the regular education, and any of the degree that you have done from the online education, you can apply any of the government, or whether it is a state government job or it is a central government job, or you can apply for any of the private of the job in any of the private organization, and even you can pursue your higher education on the basis of your online the degree that you have acquired for online education. So yes, again some more clarification is required into the companies to recruit students who have done to recruit employees who have done their qualifications from online or any of the distance education mode. मैं आपसे एक छोटी सी एग्जांपल अभी शेयर कर देता हूँ. आपका सेशन आज सर ले रहे हैं, एंड सर इज प्रैक्टिकली सर अपना प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस आपके साथ जो है वो शेयर कर रहे हैं. आप सोच सकते हैं कि अगर कोई थ्योरेटिकल क्लास में सिर्फ थ्योरी पढ़ाने वाला जो चीजें जो क्वेश्चन आपने क्वेश्चन किए हैं या जैसी नॉलेज आपसे मिल रही है, क्या वो एक थ्योरेटिकल क्लास में पढ़ाने वाले से मिल सकती है? सो अगेन, if you are working somewhere and by the side you are getting any of the qualification, वो आपके ही करियर में एक नया जो है आपके ही करियर को एक आगे जो है वो लेके जा रहा है, बिकॉज वर्किंग के साथ आपको उतना एक्सपीरियंस भी तो उस चीज का जो है वो साथ में हुआ है. सो अगेन it depends from organization to organization, but nowadays every organization is accepting any of the mode qualification, as sir has clearly mentioned that you should be positive, you should be confident, and colored CV के साथ colored CV matter नहीं करता है, आपके अंदर skill क्या है that matters. So I think if some organization is recruiting their staff on the basis of parameters which sir has clearly mentioned, I don't think so that any of the candidates who have done their qualification from online or distance or regular, it matters.
Yes, sir. Just to add, I work for a multinational custodian bank. We don't care whether you are done online and offline, as long as your skills match with our requirement. We don't care from where you did the degree.
Yeah,
definitely. Yes.
Great. As Manish sir was saying, I would have loved coming to the campus, sharing my experience physically with you, but I had some tight schedule. But yes, let me make this commitment to you with Manish sir and with Monica ma'am as well. If not this month, then next month for sure. I'm gonna come there, and then we'll have a longer session.
Definitely, sir, and it will be a pleasure for us, sir. Also, it will be a pleasure for us.
Pleasure.
So, any other question from any of the students? So, otherwise, we can wind up today's session. So, I think finally, student has asked many of the interesting questions to the sir, and sir, I really want to thank you that you have spared your time to guide and to motivate our online mode students. Yes, you came to campus many a times to meet our regular mode students, but it is a new baby for us for online education, and it is a very passionate project for us. We just got approval in November 2021 from UGC, and we started our online education program in November 2021. But sir, we are getting a very good response from the market and we are getting very good students who are enrolling with us to complete their higher education from LPU online mode, sir. So sir, this was a very great session, because you have touched the practical things that any of the HR of an organization requires, and students have asked very practical questions, very practical problems that they have shared with you, and you have given a very good response and very good answers and very motivational answers to them, sir. I think this would help them during their studies for in LPU online as well as in their professional life, sir. So again, sir, from the whole of the team of Lovely Professional University and our Senior Director, Madam Gini Nijaman, I would like to thank you for your precious time that you have given to our students, sir. Very rightly said, you have said very good things, very rightly, that your positive attitude, your confidence matter. CV, colored CV does not matter, your skills matter, and you have very well explained the learning curve, and you have very well said, sir, that faster you learn, faster you grow, sir. So thanks a lot, sir, for such a commendable things that you have shared with our students, sir. From LP Online team, I would like to thank you for your time and for your motivational lecture to our students, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much, Mahesh, sir. It's a privilege for me to be interacting with students, our future of our country, and obviously many countries. Thank you so much for giving me this chance, and I wish good luck to all the students. Guys, I'm sure you guys will rock in your future. All the very best. Keep shining.
Thank you, sir, and
Thank you,
hope to meet you in campus as well as for other sessions for our students, sir. Thank you. It will be a privilege for us, sir, and to have you for other sessions for our students, sir. And finally, in the last, I would like to thank Dr. Ajay Bambaji, Dr. Kulvinder Palji, Aseem Khannaji for this session. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. And thanks to all the students.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir. Take care, sir. Thank you.